few weeks ago I bought this axe head from my local market. It's a racing axe or a competition axe, which I knew absolutely nothing about, but the old fella I bought it off told me a little bit, and I've researched a little more since. The whole thing is hardened steel, not just the cutting edge, and because of that the pole has got a crack all the way through it, and that would have happened when that's been used for whacking in a wedge or something like that. It's a key steel axe that apparently is very good. I found examples online where they sold for $800, $900, even $1,000. Obviously this isn't worth anywhere near that. That is pretty serious damage. It's heavily pitted, but I still think I could clean this up and make a nice axe out of it, and for my use I think it would be pretty cool. The first job is to remove this pin that goes through the eye. I thought that was quite interesting. I haven't seen that before. The old fella I bought it off told me they put them on racing axes so the head can't fly off and hit somebody in the crowd or another competitor. With a cut-off disc and the angle grinder, I'm going to open up this crack so I can get in there and weld it better. I haven't welded hardened steel before, and with a bit of research I read you should preheat it first, so I did that. I used the stick welder to weld it, and I've never done that before. I've always used the MIG, and I've played with TIG a few times too, but never stick welded. And the reason I stick welded it is I felt I could get right inside the eye better, and I suppose that worked out. Like I say, it's not the prettiest, but I'm sure it'll be okay. The electrodes were low hydrogen, which I read was the best option for welding hardened steel. Obviously there was a lot of heat in that weld, but I don't think enough of it would have transferred to this cutting edge to cause any real damage. A lot of it would have been lost in these cheeks here. It was certainly pretty warm, but like I say, I think it should all be fine. If I run a file over it, it's brightening that edge, but it's not really cutting into it, so I think that should all be good. The butt's just about done. I might grind it a touch more just to finish it off. I filed inside the eye. That took quite a while, and it's not perfect, but it's not bad at all. I think that's smooth enough in there. So now I'm going to start grinding, sanding and polishing the faces. The last time I restored an axe, I got comments about using an angle grinder and putting too much heat into it and ruining the temper on the edge, but that's not the case at all. It's hot, but I can still hold on to it, so it's certainly not hot enough to ruin that temper. An angle grinder doesn't have to be a sledgehammer. You haven't got to dig in and bog it down. Nice light touches, and it won't put that much heat into it. It was heavily pitted, and I've decided to grind those out, but by doing so I'm going to lose most of these markings. It's a bit of a shame. They are quite cool, but I'm not going to concern myself about it. I'm going to go for a nice finish, so that's just the way it is. I used a flat disc to do the hard work and cut through all that pitting. That left it a little bit rough, so then I used these fibre discs, and that was very good at evening that surface out. And then that still leaves scratch marks, so I went through With the orbital, I went through 60, an 80, a bunch of 120s, a 180 and a 240, which is still on the sander. And now I'm going to carry on doing it by hand, and this is 400. I've got some 600, 800, and then I'll do 1200, and that should be a good enough finish for what I want. This is a bit of glass cleaner to help cut through it. It's already got a decent edge on it, so it's not going to take much sharpening. The axe head is finished. I'm moving on to the handle, and I've got this piece of spotted gum. The head is nearly fitted. I keep checking it, putting the head on and then take it off, get rid of the high spots and then try it again. And we can see where the high spots are, so if I just take those off. I didn't put the pin back through. What I did notice is the hole's bigger one side than the other, so it obviously needs a tapered pin. I'm not really sure why that would be, but I've left it for now because I don't think it actually really needs it. But if I work out what I'm supposed to do with that, then I might do it at a later date. It cut through those logs with ease. They were camphor laurel, that's a medium density hardwood, and they're about 3 years old. There was still plenty of moisture in there, but they wouldn't be the softest logs, not as soft as pine, and like I say, it went through with ease. I can't tell you how happy I am with that. I think it's fantastic and I absolutely love it. It came out so well. It's by far the best axe I've ever used. I haven't used that many axes, but it was fun to use. It wouldn't be any good for splitting wood, so it's not really that useful an axe, but it was fun. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.